Greetings, my most excellent friends and fiends, and welcome once more to D&D Surprise Party as we further explore the world of Huurkkun. I am, of course, your humble host and dungeon master, D.E.L.V.E.R.S Dragon, and with me, of course, are my wonderful players, aka the Delvers. Hello, players!
Hello.
So let's. Oh, we left you in a bit of a sticky wicket last time,
A little
didn't
bit.
we?
A little
It
bit.
it left a bad taste in one of your mouths, literally. But we will get back to the action and intrigue momentarily because y'all are on the clock. It seems because there's rumblings and the tumblings there. All right, but first we need to, of course, take care of some business. You don't know how long you were out. The last thing you knew, you were walking home from the tavern. You were feeling pretty good when all of a sudden a mist enveloped you. You couldn't breathe. Your vision cleared, and suddenly you were face to face with a ravening wolf. Everything went red and black. You open your eyes. You think you've opened them only to find them covered in cloth. You try to sit up, but you're restrained, bound to a platform on your back, your wrists and ankles shackled down. You start to scream in panic, but your mouth won't open. Is it gagged? Is it sewn shut? Suddenly, the light in the room bursts into your eyes as the bandages are stripped away. A face gaunt with sunken, bloodshot eyes that look like they've seen too much, stares down at you. Welcome back. Oh, you were a tricky one. I had to replace a few parts after that dire wolf ripped you to shreds. Fortunately, I had some spare parts laying around the lab. Your eyes dart around the room as much as you can move them. You see strange blue lightning bolts arcing between metal pylons. You see a glass tank filled with a strange green liquid. Is that a face in there? Then the crazed looking man pulls a lever and your bonds release you. You look at yourself and your arms and your legs. They look like a patchwork quilt. Is your right hand a claw? At least you're alive, right? But now you're one of the returned. You now belong to Ravenloft. And thanks to D&D Beyond, you can create your very own Ravenloft adventures, including your own Dark Lords and Dark Domains, with Van Richten's Guide to Ravenloft, now available in the D&D Beyond marketplace. You can also use the new Gothic lineages of D.E.L.V.E.R., Hexblood, and The Returned, as well as create new School of Spirits, Bard, and Undead Warlock subclasses. D&D Beyond, of course, is your go-to official D&D digital toolbox for all your character creation needs, as well as plenty of tools for dungeon masters, including homebrew tools. I've been using those quite a lot. You can create and run encounters and the still in beta combat tracker. And of course, you have plenty of digital dice to choose from. So thanks again, D&D Beyond, for sponsoring D&D Surprise Party. Hey, Trev, you've got an announcement, don't you?
I do, Dragon. Thank you. Do you need character art? Do you need a lot of character art, but maybe you don't have the time or ability, like me, to do it yourself and lack the coin to commission an artist? Also like me. Well, Never Ending has the solution. Use their custom character builder to bring your visions to life. Try out the 2.0 beta release of the builder live at bneverending.app. That's .app. Try it for free. Get a feel for what's possible, or subscribe to unlock hundreds of assets for your players or non-player characters. Get in on the special offers while they last. Subscribe monthly for just $1 to the hireling tier, or for an entire year at the hero tier for $9. $9, and that includes 30 days free. With more features and art assets coming, it'll feel like the rewards will be never ending.
All right. Thank you very much, Trev, and thank you, Never Ending, for sponsoring D&D Surprise Party once again this season. Now, we're here through the graces of Chaotic Tiefling. And it's the brainchild of our dear Queen of Chaos, our Chaos Coordinator, our offstage Oracle, our boss, because I have to say this. No, I don't. Babs the Bat. And this community has been lovingly cultivated and curated to create a truly safe space for creatives to come and be themselves. I mean, I couldn't have even attempted to try something like Surprise Party anyplace else, because there simply is no place else like Chaotic Tiefling. But there's a lot more to the chaos than the fun that we have every Wednesday night. Like, Lydia, why don't you tell them something?
Absolutely, Dragon. There's What Streams May Come, the monthly Shakespearean live reading streamed performance hosted by the dynamic duo of Our Lady of Shadows, Jessica Skellington, and the Bloodhaven bard himself, Finnegan Archer. Each month, a randomly generated cast plays randomly selected parts. It's a lot of fun. You don't want to miss it. Trust us. Our next production is going to be Henry V, and that's going to be on Saturday, June the 12th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Mark your calendars. Tune in at that time. It's a lot of fun.
Thank you, Lydia. And Celine, you have something to add to that, don't you?
I do. So I just got to say, if you need a little bit of adventure with your Sunday brunch routine, because obviously we all do. There's nothing like mimosas and dungeon delving, right? Tune right here to Chaotic Tiefling ATL on alternating Sundays at 11 a.m. Eastern so that you too can journey into the original setting of Utharia with the Utharian legends. Created and DM'd by Strike Redkite, who is our moderator supreme and hanging out in chat right now. Featuring several familiar faces, including our own Bigby, the aforementioned Big and Finn and Jess, not to mention other surprise Chaos Links who might pop in from time to time as either NPCs or guest PCs. The next episode streams this Sunday, Memorial Day weekend, May 30th at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Bring your mimosas, get some brunch, do some adventuring. Somebody may even cast Fireball.
Oh,
May?
God, I hope so.
Oh, thank you very much, Celine. And as always, you can find all of the previous episodes of all of our shows on the Chaotic Tiefling YouTube channel, the link for which I'm sure is no doubt in the chat as we speak. And finally, well, I need to wrap this up. I'll simply say this. It's that... Wait, what? Cease and desist? Contract violation? Ben! Apparently, I'm not allowed to mention my TeePublic shop, which I have, if you can hit exclamation point Forsooth in the chat, because Finn is very upset that he's not getting to do the commercials anymore. So I can't tell you about all the nerdy gear. I wish I could, but I can't tell you about the shirts or the hoodies or the tank tops or the surprise party merch or the D&D inspired merch. I can't tell you about the travel mugs or the coffee mugs. I can't tell you about the notebooks and the laptop covers. I can't tell you that you can find Shakespeare inspired merch or pop culture inspired merch. I just can't tell you. I'm not allowed because of a cease and desist order. I just can't take it anymore. But anyway, hit exclamation point forsooth. I need a drink. Anyway, help a dragon out and buy some merch today because apparently I have legal fees I have to cover now. Anyway, let's get to adventure. All right, so, well, the first order of business, other than that, for tonight is I need a chosen for tonight. Now, last week's chosen was Trav, who was left over from episode 1. Now, Bob's and Nate's immunity is gone, but Trav has immunity this week, so he is safe from the specter of the surprise die. But the rest of you ain't. So I need Bob to roll a d6, if you please.
Curses. Yeah, this will work.
It's all on you, Bob.
Curses
6.
rolled again.
What did
6.
you roll? 6? All righty then. Oh, that's interesting.
Oh.
I don't like that.
Whoa.
Interesting is scary sometimes.
Why is any one of us more interesting than the others, Dragon?
We're all interesting.
I don't like it.
Fascinating.
I don't like it at all.
Nope. Nope. Not even a little bit. Not even the
There is
tiniest bit.
never anything malevolent beneath my smile.
It's pronounced
Except for
malevolent.
just smiling malevolently.
Shenanigans
When the GM's smiling, it's already too late.
and
That
tomfoolery.
poster.
Fool Tomery and Hen Shanigans will be with us always.
Yes.
So,
Shenanigans.
yes.
Banana Mans?
But
Phenomena.
TB.
Dun, dun,
Okay.
dun.
Anyway,
Please, can rocks fall and kill the party?
Right, so we have like 80 more announcements to go, right? We don't have to go straight into combat, right? We're fine, right? We're
when
gonna...
last we left
God damn it.
our merry Delvers,
Pull out your arm blade, coward. We're going.
Nice try.
Mary?
last time on Dragon Ball Z, last time out, our gallant band was, delving through this mysterious dungeon that has just appeared. And after overcoming some ogre zombies, disarming a bunch of traps, getting a little turned around in a very labyrinthine corridor, they kept coming back to a room with a couple of piles of bones and leathers. And finally, they decided to go in another door that they found into this room. And when they did, the bones and leathers were no longer there in piles. They were standing in the middle of the room, revealed for what they are. A Sword Wraith and 2 skeletons. And that is where we pick up. And it is time for you to roll some initiative, my friends.
No, sir. I don't like it.
Eek.
Oof.
Almost good.
I rolled a nat 20.
Ah,
I can't believe I wasted a nat 20 on that.
You didn't.
Oh, yes, and
waste
just
it.
to
It's
remind-
totally useful.
Just to remind our viewers, the donated nat 20s and rerolls are no more. So they're all on their own now for rolling. Okay, so Dizera,
11.
Saltus,
5.
Dimitra,
20.
nice. Danos,
21.
whoa. And Bob, you got that 20. Now does
And-
that and what it gets added to it?
4.
Oh,
Ooh.
I'm a fast
Quick
bunny.
like a bunny.
and Strix.
15.
Oh my gosh, I'm going last.
They're not. That'd be me.
Oh,
That's Mr. 5 over there.
I didn't hear that. Okay, well, I'm not going completely last. I guess I feel a little bit better.
All right, so you've opened the door, and inside, where there were piles of bones, there now stands revealed before you this being in black half-plate armor, wielding a very large sword with what looks to be a bone handle and guard, accented with the skull of some fanged creature. As if that weren't scary enough, beneath the helmet, you can see coming out from the T-shaped opening, you could swear that you see flames billowing out. And then standing on either side, wearing a helmet armed with a broadsword on each side, is a skeleton warrior. So you have that taste in your mouth of the ash once again, Dimitra, because you're a bit closer now on this side of the room than when you were on the other side. And you taste a little bit of copper in there as well, possibly because of the slightly more powerful undead standing before you.
Have I ever tasted that before?
Yes, not necessarily facing one of these, but a little bit more powerful. A little.
So I'm
slightly,
aware
slightly,
that it's more powerful than what
those.
we faced before.
Right, you're aware that they're definitely more powerful than the ogre zombies. It's a little bit tougher than the skeletons as well, the regular skeletons. So we are going to start now. So on 24, Squeaks.
How far away are they?
They're within about 20 feet.
Oh, okay, so I don't have to hop. Alright. I'm probably going to go up to them before going into rage, just in case something explodes. But I am going to go into rage.
Okay. Let me get my trusty table up here.
Yeah. Ooh.
Okay, give me that D8.
4.
All right. As you feel that electric sensation that always seems to accompany you when you enter a fighting frenzy, your hair stiffens out a little bit, bristles up just a bit. You don't get all floofy, but it's on end and tense. And everybody else sees a little charges of what looks like electricity stemming around Squeaks as his eyes begin to glow. But it's not just his eyes that are glowing, because his battle axe begins to glow a little bit as well. Magic has infused it, and until your rage ends, your weapon's damage type changes to force. And it gains the light and thrown properties. With a normal range of 20 feet and a long range of 60 feet.
Wait. Did you just say he can throw his battle axe?
Wait, there's more. If the weapon leaves your hand, the weapon reappears in your hand at the end of the current turn. So you have Stormbreaker for the moment.
Oh, I was going to say Thor's battle axe.
Well, yeah.
Poor Bunny.
All right, I was kind of hoping for the exploding pixie, but I'll take it.
You up Immigrant Song in 3, 2.
Oh no, we'll get whatever.
All right,
We can't clear that.
All right. Well, can I tell that I can throw it now?
Yes, you can. Something tells you that you want to throw your axe at one of these things.
All right. Well, yeah, I'm gonna chuck my axe at the big boy, the big scary one.
All
I don't
right,
remember what it's called. Sword Wraith.
At the Sword Wraith. Okay.
Okay.
That means you add your dexterity to it too if you're throwing it. So you add your dex modifier plus your strength modifier.
Oh boy. Oh well, I'm not gonna hit it anyways. All right. 13.
It holds up its sword and swats it away.
I knew it. Oh, it's worth a shot.
Okay, so, well, I guess you didn't run out. Now, did you? You didn't run all the way up there then to them?
No.
I guess. Okay, all right. So then, the axe disappears, and it should reappear in your hand momentarily. Okay, so that was 24. 21. Danos.
Oh.
What's your dex?
My dex is +2, 14.
Okay. Give me a D20 roll, please.
Oh, all right. Rolling. That is a 12.
Okay, you get to go first because the skeletons go on 21 as well.
Dope. Okie doke. I think the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm a guiding bolt Mr. Big Man in the middle.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm gonna roll to hit. That is an 18 to hit.
That hits.
Yes. Rolling that sweet, sweet radiant damage. That is 16 points of radiant damage.
Nice.
I believe it's radiant damage. I would imagine it is. Yep. And the next person to hit it has advantage.
It recoils back. And you actually do a little bit more.
Ooh. Can I do anything with a bonus action? I don't think I can. I'm going to get a little bit more in the room so that I'm not clogging up the hallway. Can I do that?
Okay. Yeah, no, you can easily do that.
Okay, like literally like right in the room and against the wall. Like I'm not looking to get into the fight.
Okay. All right, well, skeleton number 1 was not terribly appreciative that you went and attacked the boss. So he's going to come over and charge at you.
Oh, bother.
Alrighty, and he is attacking you with a short sword.
Wonderful.
And that's a 22, but not a nat 20, so...
Uh-huh.
You're
Yep.
okay there.
Mm-hmm.
And you take 4 piercing damage.
Oh, okay. Okay. We're fine. We're fine. Everything's fine.
Okay. And that's that's skeleton number 1, skeleton number 2. Let's see, who will he go after? Oh. He's going to come and attack Squeaks.
Come at me.
Thank goodness.
Does a 13 hit, which I highly doubt?
No.
Okay, and this skeleton misjudges your height and swings and misses.
Miss me.
All right.
I just imagine him swinging above his ears, and his ears just kind of flop down like this.
Okay, and that's 21. 20, Demetra.
All right. So we have main guy in the middle, and then one of the skeleton guys was already attacking somebody, correct?
Both skeletons have attacked. One skeleton
Okay.
attacked Danos, the other attacked Squeaks.
Squeaks.
Now the thing is, the big guy though, whoever attacks him next has advantage because of Danos's guiding bolt.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Demetra wants to go for the big guy.
As I thought you might.
She is going to swing her battle axe. Is she within 5 feet?
You can close very easily to be within
Okay.
5 feet.
So I'm gonna run up at 5 feet away from him, swing my battle axe, and use Divine Smite.
Okay, well, you say that. Wait until you hit, so this way you don't use the spell slot first. So you have to make sure you hit first.
Sure.
All right, so roll to hit.
14.
Did you roll with advantage?
Oh, yes, that's right.
Oh.
Roll a second d20 to see if that one.
Let's see. 26. Not
You
20.
definitely okay. That hit. Good thing for the advantage then.
Okay.
Thank you, advantage.
Congratulations.
All right. So I do want to use Divine Smite, and I'm going to use it as a two-handed weapon.
Okay.
So I roll for damage.
Yes.
Remember, you're rolling crit damage even.
Ooh, 14.
Okay. Is that including your Divine Smite?
Nope, that is without Divine Smite, and I need an extra 2d8. So I will roll those. Here we go. Ooh, 16. So 16 plus the 14?
Yep.
Now, you're rolling a crit here, right?
Did you roll a natural 20 on that advantage?
On the damage, the first damage roll.
Was your second, you rolled a nat 20 to hit, right?
Yeah, when
Yeah.
the
It'll
26
double
was
your-
in at 20. Yeah.
Yeah, but it'll apply to your Divine Smite as well. So you'll do the minimum 2d8, you said, damage?
Yeah, and I rolled 16 on the 2d8. I had 2 8s.
You'll actually do 32 just from the Divine Smite then, because you're doing max damage plus your roll. Big hit.
Thank you, Trav, for keeping up with that.
Welcome.
This is kind of your thing.
It is entirely to my advantage if you're doing more damage
yeah.
to the enemy.
I missed the natural roll. I'm just looking back on the game like, yeah, now, yeah. So the way that we do critical hits here is so you did that already. You what's your base damage?
I accidentally cleared that out of my. I think it was a. Can someone
No,
check?
no, for your axe. What's your
Just
base
your
damage?
Oh. Sorry.
I believe a battle axe is a D12?
It's a 1d10 plus 4.
D10.
So the battle axe, according to D&D Beyond's handy roll log, thank you, D&D
It
Beyond.
actually did it. Yeah.
It calculated it because you got because you made the nat 20. It went ahead and calculated the next roll of that weapon as double. So you rolled 2d10 plus 4. So
it actually should be.
It should be higher.
It should be higher. It should be because the way that we do it is it's 10 points, which is the value of your, which is the maximum that your weapon does. So 10 plus the second roll would be the 4. So that would
18 from the battle axe.
So 18 from the battle axe.
And 32 from Divine Smite.
And 32. Yeah. How do you want to do this?
Holy.
Demetra is really anxious because she knows that there was 2 rumbles already, and they are really close together. The second one came really close. We're trying to get out of here, and these people or these undead are right in front of us. So I got the anxiety behind me.
Okay, so you realize how you're racing against the clock, and you run up and you take a mighty swing and you connect with the base of the helmet, and you lop it off and it flies across the room, smoking as it goes. And then the fire goes out and the body seems to deflate within the armor, leaving just a pile of rags and charred plate.
I'm just
All right, guys.
imagining.
We can continue now.
I'm just imagining her giving out a panicked yell as she swings, just like, ah!
All right. Well, no, you still have 2 skeletons to deal with. So you're not done. Although I will say this, you're very lucky you killed that, because it would have summoned 2 more skeletons on the next turn.
Oof.
Why?
Oofta.
Why?
So he would have got on 16. On 15, Strix.
Is at this point I would like to point out that we could choose to run from this combat in the interest of time. However, I will defer to all your decisions. I'm going to tap the crystal on my chest, and I am going to cast Bane to make sure that whatever these skeletons do, it won't be as hard hitting. So that's
Okay.
a charisma save.
So they have to make a charisma save. These are skeletons.
Exactly. According to my analysis, these creatures should not be very charismatic.
They rolled a nat 20. Even with their minus.
That one was a bard.
Even with their -3. So it's a 17.
And here I didn't think they
it's
had
from
the
the
guts.
bone structure.
Oh.
Yeah, they were bards in a past life.
Just hurts, guys. It just hurts me. That hurts my soul.
That skeletons can roll a natural 20.
And the puns going on, like it's hurting.
Psychic
my
I
soul.
will never apologize for a pun.
Ever.
Okay, so Strix, the Bane did not work. Is there anything else you wish to do at this time?
Who is up after me?
That would be D.E.L.V.E.R.S.
I would like to inspire D.E.L.V.E.R.S. by pointing out that while they may be unexpectedly charismatic, I am sure that with one good tap to the right bone, they will fall apart.
Okay, so you have
You're
Bardic
inspired.
Inspiration, and that would give you a
1d6. On an ability check, attack roll or saving throw within the next 10 minutes.
Awesome.
Woot.
And I would like to move, if I can, the shortest way. Like, I imagine I can move around them without entering their melee range.
um.
Or are they right in front of the door?
They're pretty much to either side of the door where the boss was there. But let me see. You would be able to just get by them.
All right.
I rolled a 6 on their perception to see if they noticed you going by them.
Then I would like to move by them and position myself in such a position that I can provide flanking for one of them, but also be as close to the next door as I can be.
Okay.
They're both so incredibly proud at passing that charisma check. They're both just looking at each other like, hey, we did it. Clearly missed it.
Okay. And anything else?
That's it.
Okay. So on 11, Diazira.
That's me. Okay. So one of the so either of the words are either of the skeletons engaged?
Well, you don't see a ring on their fingers.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I wasn't gonna ask. Skeleton B has been in that relationship for a long time, but I'm sure that they'll figure it out eventually.
Skeleton A is currently facing off with Danos. Okay. Skeleton B is currently trying to swing at Squeaks, and Skeleton B would be between, if you were to run up in front of it, would be between you and Strix.
Okay.
So you can get both advantage and sneak attack.
Yes. That's what I was going for.
Plus Squeaks is also in combat with it as well, so.
Right, yeah. So I'm going to shoot it at range because, reasons. If I don't have to go poke the thing, I'd rather not go poke the thing.
Okay.
So 18.
Oh, that'll hit.
That hits?
Oh, yeah.
Awesome. So 9 from my short bow.
Okay, and what kind of damage is that?
My short bow does piercing damage.
Okay.
And then another 9 from my sneak attack.
Okay. Just refresh my mind quick. Is sneak attack the same type of damage?
I
believe
so.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So what was that total then?
18 total.
Okay, so it's going to actually take 9. You see that the arrow kind of clinks in between the ribs. It does a good number on it, believe me. It just doesn't do as much as you were hoping that it would. Okay.
I'll do what I got.
Okay, and that was Skeleton B.
It seems to be resisting the damage of non-magical weaponry, if my observations are correct.
Okay, and that was on 11. On 5, Salthus. Let me make sure there wasn't anything else you wanted to do, Dizera?
Nope, that's it.
Okay. On 5, Salthus.
Salthus begins walking into the room towards the one engaged with Danos. He flips back part of his waistcoat and pulls out the small diamond from before. He begins muttering again. Scintillating energy is coming out in various shades, and he casts Chromatic Orb, but when the bolt comes out, it is temporarily invisible until it hits the skeleton. Let's see if it does. I'm casting this at 2nd level.
Oh, okay.
So let's see. And I roll a 22 to hit.
That definitely hits.
It strikes, and there is a sudden loud boom as he sent out a thunderbolt.
Okay.
So that would be a pretty good roll of 19 sonic damage. Thunder damage, pardon me.
You force the energy along, and right in front of your face, Danos, this skeleton starts shuddering and shaking, the helmet vibrating on the skull. and it falls apart.
Oh, well, that was helpful.
Salthus will then say, answering what Strix said, piercing damage to something with no organs is the problem.
All right, and we still have that one pesky skeleton is still up, so we're still in initiative. So we're back at the top. By this point, Squeaks, your axe has reappeared in your hand.
All right. Well, I was gonna go hop to Danos' defense, but I guess I'll keep fighting the one I'm fighting.
Okay.
And for Skeleton B.
Okay. And you have advantage because it is currently flanked by Strix.
Ooh. I have advantage, and I'm still chucking my axe. Oh boy. All right. The second roll was a nat 20. I think that hits.
Yeah. You do at least 12 points of damage just with the battle axe, right?
Yeah, I do 1d12 plus 5. Usually. So this will be 12 plus, I gotta fish my d12 out.
Don't bother. You throw your axe. It smashes into the face through the helmet and continues past it. And as it comes flying back to you, the helmet is still on it. And you see the headless body of the skeleton fall to the floor of the room.
My kill!
So you have a puppet now on your axe.
Marvelous job, everyone.
My kill.
Yes, you got your kill now. So there we go. So you are all unscathed again.
That smite was clutch.
In response to your comment, Salthus, I have no organs, and yet piercing damage does the normal amount of damage to me.
I think it's something to do with skin. Like, you at least have some kind of skin. These guys didn't.
If you want to call it that, I suppose. We should quickly check if these have any valuables and then continue swiftly onwards.
Okay.
I'm going to check if these have any valuables.
Let me see here. Where is...
I'm probably going to check the room, see if it has any valuables.
I will assist someone.
I will say for certain that Salthus is going to try and take the Sword Wraith's blade. He wants to examine that closely.
Not the helmet?
No.
So, I'm keeping the helmet on my axe because I think it's funny.
Okay.
Reasonable.
You got a hood ornament now.
Axe ornament.
Axe ornament.
Axe body slay.
Oh.
All right.
Oh, Trev.
Oh, dear.
That was beautiful. That was beautiful. That was absolutely beautiful.
Oh, man.
Okay. All right, so just remind me what you're all doing. Danos, what did you say you were doing? You were looking?
I will assist, I guess I'll assist Lorei with investigating bodies and such.
Oh, okay, and Salthus, you're checking out the sword.
And I'm investigating the room in general to look for shinies.
I am also looking for shinies with the scary, barbarian bun.
Okay.
I am also looking for shinies.
Demetrius is going to be trying to figure out where the next exit is.
All right.
I rolled a natural 20.
In the meantime, Strix, I need you to roll. This is not related to that, but I need you to roll a d20, please.
God damn it. I heard the surprise die.
Could it be?
16.
Okay.
My heart is beating so fast right now.
All right.
Whatever happens, we got your back.
All right. As you are checking through the remains of the skeletons, you do come across the one helmet that is not on Bob's axe. You do find in the helmet of all strange places a very simple little pouch.
I will take it with me.
Okay. Okay. So you're not opening it, you're just taking it? Okay.
There is a time consideration, unfortunately.
All right. So, all right. So,
Can I tell from just picking it up what it might contain?
oh, you hear coin inside. You hear a bit of coin. All right. Danos and Strix. Decide amongst yourself who wants to roll a D 100.
A 100. Okay. Do you wanna? All right.
I had to look where you were in the overlay, but I'm pointing at you.
All right. That is a 99.
99. Okay.
D100s are not my friend.
They are really mine, unfortunately. My
You
players
rolled,
hate me.
Oh, you rolled very well on the random treasure table, because between the two skeleton bodies, you do manage to find 6 platinum pieces.
Ooh. I will
Money.
take them along with me for later distribution.
Okay. All right, Salthus. This sword definitely has the appearance of malevolence about it. You don't see, even though it's got a very strange carved facing on the blade itself, there's nothing runic in nature about it. So at cursory glance, there doesn't seem to be any sort of enchantment one way or the other on it. The only way to be sure would be to cast Identify upon it.
I do not have...
Or Detect Magic.
I don't have Detect Magic prepared, and I do not have Identify in my spellbook yet, which I need to fix soon. But for the meantime, he's going to take this blade with him simply, if nothing else, as a relic of the dungeon.
All right. So...
Dragon?
Yes.
Do I notice him inspecting this sword?
Well, he's pretty much like right there with you, because it's right there.
Okay. I'll sort of go over to Salthus after I finish up helping. Oh my goodness, what is your character's Strix? After I finish helping Strix, and just be like, is it magical?
Unfortunately, I am only able to provide a cursory glance. I couldn't tell from Arcana, by the way, Dragon, if it was enchanted at all. I just assume what I'm thinking from not finding any runes on it.
Well, considering the fact as well that it's nothing really super arcanic. Again, there's no runes on it. There's nothing really identifiable or outstanding about the blade, other than the strange carving on the pommel and whatnot of the skull. But you can give You can give an Arcana check on it, though.
Okay. He will be saying as he does so, I'm mostly interested in it as this is truly what binds the spirit of a Sword Wraith, which is what that thing was.
Oh, interesting.
He can't tell anything from an Arcana check right now.
But. No, and although I'll give you this, you're kind of wondering why this you seem to think that this Sword Wraith should have been a little bit stronger.
Would taking the blade outside not then cause extra danger to those outside, since it could reappear?
The divine radiance that smote it down should prevent it from ever recoalescing. At this point, it's no more dangerous than most of the relics we take out of the dungeons.
Would you like to find out if it's magic?
Certainly.
And I'll just run my hand along my feather on my hat, and then just kind of go along the sword, and I will cast Detect Magic.
Okay.
And it also lasts for 10 minutes. Just putting that out there.
All our magical items go bling, bling.
I go blind
My
with
entire
everything
body
that's
goes
glowing.
Is there a small jug glowing on my back?
At the moment, the rabbit is glowing like a Christmas tree.
Love it, love it.
You do detect some magic coming from the blade.
Does Detect Magic tell me what school it is? And you learn
yes.
And you learn at School of Magic, if any.
Yep.
There is definitely a bit of a grayish to black aura upon it.
Got it. Yeah, this is definitely magical. Also, by the way, Squeaks, if you could step behind me, you're quite bright.
Why, thank you. I take very good care of my fur.
Yep. And yeah, it's magical. Specifically, I believe what you intellectuals call it necromantic in nature.
As expected.
I interpreted that right, Dragon, right?
In unnatured,
yes, you did.
Okay.
I suppose.
What?
I made an attempt at a joke.
Oh. What did you say? I genuinely want to know.
Or in unnature, I suppose.
Oh.
Since necromantic magic is unnatural.
Joke.
Thank you.
Right.
Alrighty. So you are out of initiative. Squeaks, your static charge dwindles a bit. Your axe is no longer glowing either.
They were searching the room while we were having this conversation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was going to looking.
So you've pretty much scoured the rest of the room. There's nothing else really much in there. There you have the doorway through which you first opened up and saw into the room, which led into where the ogre zombies were. To your north.
All right, nothing more here worth. Let's get out of here before we get more rumbles.
Agreed.
And just at that moment,
Yeah.
I need everybody to make a dexterity check.
Wait.
Check or
saving throw.
A dexterity check.
Check. All right.
And Danos, you actually get an advantage on this.
Yeah, all right.
Okay, that's against throws.
7.
18.
12.
15.
With advantage, 13.
Okay, did anybody roll under 12?
7.
Me.
Okay, you kind of lose balance and fall to your knees as the rumbling just got even more intense. The reason that I gave Danos the advantage is because of his larger size and weight. Because Strix, even though she's a servitor, she is fairly lightweight for a servitor because she is made of mithril.
Yo, right, and I'll help up. Whoever fell down.
Thank you.
I think that means it's time to go.
I suggest we start running. Yes.
Run.
Yeah, I'm
Help
out
them up
here.
and run.
Where's the other door? So besides the door that we entered in, is there another door?
The other door is the.
Isn't it above us? Wasn't it like a
Yeah,
trap door or something?
yeah, it's north of us. So like we need to go north to get out. 'Cause
Mhm.
That'll
Right.
take us to the room
Like
where we
besides
lock the
going the
doors
way
and
that we
then down the
came
hallway.
in, like is there a quicker way to go? Like, to
No,
cut out?
going north is the quicker way. If we went back the way we came in, would be winding around the outside of the room.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah.
I have a question before that. Dragon, would I be able to tell if any one of us is strong enough to carry D.E.L.V.E.R.S and she's the only one that's a little bit slower than the rest without taking a speed penalty?
Zero slower?
Mm-hmm. 25
Act-
feet.
Actually, Danos might have. I believe you have a. Your size is. You have the benefit of the carrying capacity
Mm-hmm.
because he counts as one size bigger. So you could actually carry her easily.
D.E.L.V.E.R.
I
I have a
offer.
question. We do not want you to be left behind. Would you be okay piggybacking on one of us so that we all move at the same speed?
I mean, I can run.
Why
Like I'm not
are we talking
broken
about
or
this?
anything. Like, can't we just? We need to just
All right.
go. And like,
Salthus is like already at the door. Going,
Yeah, like-
what are you discussing?
I'm just considering that with every 30 feet we move, she's 5 feet falling further behind, and I don't want her to get left behind.
She can use her bonus action and action to dash. So
No.
Yeah,
She'll probably
mechanically
be fine.
she's going to outrun all of us, but
yeah.
it's like, we'll wait. Let's go.
All right. So if you go to the door in the north, that will lead you back into the room where the ogre zombies were. You see that the bodies are still exactly where they were, just a little bit more decomposed.
Keep moving.
Keep going.
Yeah.
All right. So then you are in this room and you see that there's the still open secret door that led to the little winding corridor, and up in the middle of the room is the room with the statues, with the broken statues, and one semi-reassembled one.
Go to the statue room, I guess.
I was gonna say through the statue
running.
room, and we're just out. Like this is
We're
the
booking it.
third of unknown rumbles. Like escape.
Escape.
Yes, because if we do not escape, there will be no escape, and that's the problem.
Keeping an eye out whether that trap has reset or not.
As
Up
you
above.
come around the corner, you do see that the guillotine trap is still indeed in the locked down position that you left it in.
Okay.
Oh, go!
Moving past, yeah.
And you see the doorway. There is indeed light coming through. You see sunlight coming through.
Where you go?
Yeah, I book it towards light.
Okay, the light is very bright. Well, you've just been in the end of the dungeon for the last hour or so. And as your eyes begin to reacclimate, you almost immediately notice something is wrong. There's no prefabricated outpost. There's no cart.
Is it still desert?
There's no Gelfin. There's nobody around. It still looks very much, the floor still very much looks like the desert, but now, as you can see, there seems to be rocky peaks and crags at various points in the distance.
So what you're saying is our surroundings now look different than when we came into this dungeon.
Yep.
And we went out the same door we went in.
Yes, you did.
Oh boy.
It moved.
And if you look, you can see that there's off in the distance, you can see a tall volcano spewing forth a red vapor.
Do I know when there was last volcanic activity in this area?
Not on the continent of Firth, no.
Selena, I
And-
think you might be thinking the same thing I'm thinking. Say what it looks like you're gonna say.
Well, so I was sitting here thinking, like, okay, so is it daytime?
Oh, it's still daytime.
Okay. So what I want to do, right, because I have navigator's tools, which for some reason are used on boats, but whatever, this will totally be useful for me now, is look at the sky and see if I expect to see the stars that would have been in the sky when we went in.
Well, you can't quite see the stars because there is a very, even though you'd think it would make things darker, there's a very strange cloud formation overhead that seems to stretch on for miles, which bursts with energy every so often, keeping it almost bright as daylight. I need everybody to make a perception check, please.
I don't like this at all. Not even a little bit.
21.
19.
13.
You notice
22.
all right, all those nice big rolls. You look to the north and you're stunned at what you see.
I
because
perceive. So with an 11, like, I'm guessing I don't see this, right?
you see them staring. All the rest of you see that they're staring at something and their mouths start opening. You realize that this is so huge that it must be hundreds, if not thousands of miles away. But you see what looks like a gargantuan wall.
Immediately
Right.
start taking notes.
Like we're boxed in kind of wall, or like it's just like way.
It's way to the north. It disappears in either direction.
Does this look like some sort of architecture that any of us would have heard about?
Yeah, anyway, familiar.
Dizira and Strix definitely have an idea. And you think, right off the bat, you think it must be impossible. Because it looks very much like what you've heard about the wall that surrounds the Wrathlands. The Wrathlands that are the southern part of the hemisphere on the other side of the world.
Oof. Do you relay this to the rest of us?
On which side of the wall would we be?
From judging from the description that some have been able to give, you're on the wrong side of the wall.
Okay, I have information. Please try not to freak out as you do. It seems that we have been somehow transported in location. I am unsure if we were transported in time to the Wrathlands.
What?
Which would
The
put us
wrong side of the Wrathlands. We're on the wrong side of the wall.
and the
Ow.
wrong side of the planet.
Do we, now that the Wrathlands and everything has been pointed out, do I know what that is?
Yes, you do, because you have heard tell of it. All of you have heard of the Wrathlands.
Okay.
And you know that it's not a good place to be. I actually did mention the Wrathlands in the initial description of the world in episode 1, where it was a blight on the world. It is said to have been created by the spewing of venom by Tiamat herself.
Love it. So we just got transported to Mordor, basically.
More door or less.
Oh, okay.
Apparently one does not just walk here.
No, we just get transported in a magical dungeon here. Surprise!
Well, it is a
Surprise
surprise
party.
party.
Oh my goodness. That was a journey.
Question. What's going on behind us? If we're outside, what's happening with the dungeon behind us?
The dungeon is staying right there. You see that it looks identical to how it looked when you saw it when you first showed up at the desert on Firth.
Okay.
Well, we know where the dungeon goes when it vanishes.
So,
At
We know
least for
Question.
where
now.
this dungeon goes when it
Dragon.
vanishes.
Yes.
question.
That's fair.
So you said the entrance looks the same? Are there still, are the obelisks outside?
Yes, they are.
Okay, are
Still
they
broken.
intact or are they broken?
They are still broken. The
Okay.
entrances look identical to how it looked when you arrived on site.
Do I see any creatures, any movement anywhere?
Hopefully not.
At the moment, no. You do know from what stories have been told, and mostly through legends and some history, that's mostly told by old veterans of the wars or the history books talking of the wars and the occasional squadrons and armies of various undead and orcs and goblins managed to escape through the gate into the Duchy of Fendalia, which is on the continent of Thrid, the lower part of the continent. It's basically the bastion of defense against the gate.
All right, I know Strix said not to freak out, but Squeaks is freaking out.
Please.
Love it.
So everybody, we're gonna have to do a thing, Strix. We're just gonna have to do a thing. So everybody, take your moment, have your freak out, do your thing, right? Get it out of your system, because we're gonna need to focus if we're gonna get through this.
I agree. If you would like to stream, please do so into the doorway of the dungeon, since it will encapsulate the sound best.
Demetra starts licking the air. She sense anything?
Not immediately around you, no.
I am.
Gonna confusedly pat the bunny's head very gently.
I'm going to look at. I always forget his name. Agamemnon? Is that his name? Yeah, that's his name.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna look at Agamemnon. Can you can fly, right?
Oh, of course I can, yes. Click.
Yeah, right. Can you fly up and see what's around?
Canvas
Oh.
of surroundings.
All right. And he'll fly up. And as he's flying, he seems to he goes up just before he would touch the mist. And he'll stop at that point. So he's about 50, 60 feet up.
Okay.
And you see his head rotating.
So he just went up, hovered, and now his head's just going around in a circle like Janus Mask style?
Yes. Excuse me just one second.
Creepy.
Selphus, are you familiar with any lore about this land?
It has not been a particular focus of my study. I am more concerned about
the one night I forgot to put the stupid phone out. Anyway, so so Agamemnon is up, his head is going all around, and he comes back down. Well, this isn't good, is it? Click.
No, it's not. What did you see?
Well, there's a volcano about approximately 500 miles away. Click. To the east. To the north, there's a very big wall. If my calculations are correct, it is actually the wall of the Rathlands. Click.
Astute observation.
Nothing
Yeah,
gets
we
past
kind of figured
him.
that. And we see the volcano. You got anything else, dude?
Any movement? Any?
Nothing that I immediately noticed. Click.
Yeah, all right.
If I must hedge a theory, I would assume that enemies we will encounter here will be orcs, goblins, and hobgoblins, amongst others. Their god, Grunge, was said to crawl out of the venom of Tiamat, which is what some people refer to as this place. There might be a correlation, in case we want to watch out for specifics. Unfortunately, that's the only working theory I have. We should try to make our way towards the gate and get out of here as soon as we can.
So just so everyone's clear, the plan is to get to the wall and then ultimately get to the other side of the wall.
Yes.
That'll be good. That'll be good.
Got it.
Waiting in this dungeon would have us waiting for more than 500 years, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's
Possibly not.
Good point.
I was gonna.
If it is a new dungeon, yes. But
That's the problem. We don't know where the dungeons come from. We don't know where they go. We know no one has ever come back out of one if they disappeared with it, even a short-term one, the known-term ones. But we've never, to my knowledge, Strix, correct me if I am mistaken, we have never confirmed whether or not they are popping up or rising here in the Rathlands.
this is true. I see no correlation between my own existence and the Rathlands.
So every dungeon we've ever come across may be sitting in the Rathlands somewhere right now.
So, real quick, Dragon, how big is the Rathlands?
Yes.
If I recall correctly, it's a continent.
It's the lower continent in the southern in the eastern hemisphere.
Oh, good thing we're so close to the wall.
Hundreds of miles, I would guess.
That's how big it is. You can see this hundreds of miles away. Basically, it's the Great Wall of China.
Okay, so what is the dungeons themselves only appear on our continent, right?
There have been rumored to be, they wouldn't be rumors to Strix. Strix would actually know that there have been 3 dungeons that did appear on Thrid.
Okay, but of the recorded
Outside of
history.
the Badlands.
Okay, hold on. So outside of recorded history, right? Like for what I would know, my knowledge is all the dungeons appear on the continent of Firth, right?
Yes.
Okay. Is the continent of Firth smaller than the Rathlands?
I would say that they're actually the same size, roughly.
Okay.
There are no real maps of the Rathlands. All they have to go by, all the charts would have to go by would be the perimeter of the wall, which seems to surround it.
Okay.
There are no real charts of it. But it would seem to be from estimations and as much mystical senses can do. It seems to be roughly at least as big as the continent of Thrid, which is definitely as big as Firth.
Okay.
Those dungeons on the continent of Thrid, were they in or outside of the Rathlands?
They were outside of the Rathlands. One was in the Barony of Firereach. The second was all the way in the north in the Everwind Mountains. And the third was somewhere in... Which one was that? In Hogun.
Sorry, Celine. I interrupted you.
That's okay. So, what I was trying to figure out is, so based on just kind of generally relationship in the world, right? Does it literally seem like we could have like drawn a straight line from where we were to where we are? Like straight through the center of the earth?
You really have no means to confirm that, unfortunately.
Okay, cool. Cool.
But it is a good theory.
I ain't
All
got
of a
no
sudden-
sky, I'm stuck.
All of a sudden, Danos, you're looking at Agamemnon, and there seems to be a strange glow about him all of a sudden. There seems to be almost like a little cocoon of rainbow-like energy around him.
Oh, Oi, do you normally do that? And I will gesture to him.
So, Salthus, you recognize this aura. You've seen it once or twice before. It's when Resnarv has used some of his chronomancy.
Chronomancy.
And the glow disappears, and Agamemnon's head goes up a little bit, and out from underneath him pops a bronze egg.
Does it just roll off of my shoulder?
Yep, onto the ground.
Okay.
Did it break?
No.
No, it's bronze. Never mind. That was a dumb question.
I'm going to assume you don't normally do that.
Agamemnon, are you a girl?
I'm neither. Click.
Okay, fair.
This is a contrivance.
Interesting.
It is a paradox. Click. Paradox. Click.
Chronomancy.
Paradox.
It's called parenting. I think it's called parenting. Calm down.
Agamemnon, I'm going to request, if you need to do that, if you would kindly hop off my shoulder before you drop a deuce on my shoulder.
Diazir is going to go, like, pick up the egg. So, like, how big is this egg?
It's roughly the size of, a
like
duck egg.
Okay. Oh, okay. So it's not super
It's closer
huge.
to it. It's more rounded, almost like a little bit more spherical.
So is it, like, warm? Like, does it feel like does it feel like it has a shell, or is it literally like a bronze? Like, is it metal? Like,
Oh, it's definitely a bronze. You do notice, Dennis, because just as your detect magic is fading, you do notice that strange rainbow energy emanating from the egg. And you think that it might be the same chronomancy.
On the
Gotcha.
short term, I suggest that we take a short rest to take the time to identify and sort through the items we found in the dungeon. On the long term, I see two possible courses of action. Either we return into the dungeon and try to glean as much information from it as we can before continuing, which is probably the least good option, or we try to make our way towards the gate in the wall to leave the Rathlands as
Yeah.
soon as we can.
I'm okay with taking a little breather before we continue on. We should probably find a place that's not too out in the open, and I'll just gesture to the vast wasteland around us.
to the large tracts of land that surround us.
Yeah.
I suggest
Maybe take
we...
shelter near one of the obelisks.
Exactly. We know the interior of the dungeon better in case we need to escape inside and set off a trap to perhaps hold off any pursuers.
Yeah, maybe like close to the dungeon. Yeah, I'm all right with that.
Possibly even just inside the first hallway.
I don't know if I want to go back in there yet.
Yeah, let's leave that as a last resort.
At this point, I understand your concern. All of our knowledge does not apply here. Any experience we've had with other dungeons simply does not apply. The rapidity at which the rumbles occurred that normally, we guess, signify the dungeon receding, in this case appear to have accelerated and applied to movement through the world. Who knows where it would go?
Right, and that's why I don't want to go inside it, because then it could rumble again, and I could end up some other inconvenient place farther away from the wall.
Yeah,
Hypothetically, it is not possible to be much farther away from home, nor in a more safe place.
Further into the Wrathlands.
Or into a completely into a void
volcano.
Completely antithetical to life, for that matter.
The probability.
Yeah, we could end up in the volcano.
Yeah, so
I'd rather be here.
Let's just be right outside. We can run in if we need to.
It's fine.
Danos is popping a squat by one of the obelisks. He's already over there.
Did you mention to anybody that you saw that energy on the egg?
Oh, yeah, I probably would have brought it up and also told them that it was chronomancy?
Interesting.
Izira, do you see a way to open that egg? I have a theory on what it is.
I don't know. Do I see a way to open the egg?
You don't see any way yourself how to do it.
Should we all take a look at it, perhaps?
I don't think I'd be much help.
It seems to be completely smooth, although it is somewhat warm to the touch.
Interesting.
Does it feel like, okay, so you know how you shake an egg and you can feel the yolk and stuff moving around in there? If I shake this egg, is there liquid stuff in it?
You don't hear anything in it. And
do
you don't
I feel anything in it? Okay.
You do not feel anything shifting in it.
Before we get all into the egg thing, I want to sit cross-legged in front of wherever the bunny is, kind of try to catch their eye and say, "Are you all right? I know it's not all right, but..."
Corbin's probably worried sick. I don't know what my team's gonna do if I can't get back home.
They will miss you greatly, I assume. But they are capable, yes?
Capable, yeah, but they're the closest I have to family. I don't know what to do.
A hug?
Maybe not.
Okay. Perhaps from someone else than me, I suppose. If you ever need to talk, I am an excellent listener.
Thanks.
I will leave you alone now. Is that all right?
Okay.
Okay. I'll just sit 10 feet away and leave everyone mess with the egg.
Are we taking a short rest right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can still check it, look at the egg and everything, and still use the short rest.
If I tap it, does it sound hollow?
It doesn't sound hollow, but yet it's almost like. Give me a perception check.
Do I recognize anything about the way the plating is or the metal is constructed?
There is no seam whatsoever. It seems to be it almost seems to be just a pure egg of bronze.
So 12.
You think that when you tap on it, you'd swear that instead of sounding immediately with a little bing, it's actually delayed a few seconds. You tap it, and then a few seconds later, ding.
That's
Echo!
weird.
Echo.
Do you tell that to anybody?
Well, so she actually exclaimed, that's weird. Guys,
well,
listen to this. Listen to this. And so she taps it.
Okay. And you all notice that It doesn't make any noise. The second she taps it, a few seconds later, you hear a bing.
That is unnerving, and that came out of you? And I look at Agamemnon.
It's a paradox. Click, paradox.
So, whoa. Hold on.
Could you explain?
Reznarv? Reznarv, what are you doing? Click.
Can I take him off of my shoulder?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna like lift him up and just set him down on the ground. I'm actually kind of concerned.
Is someone sending this through you, Agamemnon?
No.
Sent, I believe, or will send. This is chronomancy, Reznar's work.
So, Salthus, do you know anything about this?
It's not my particular field of study, but I have spent time discussing it with Reznar. GM, does this look anything like the items that the goblins were fooling around with trying to figure out, not goblins, pardon me, the gnomes are fooling around with trying to figure out how to send sending spells through the dungeon?
No, it doesn't. It looks, those were actual like stones that were glowing that had like little starbursts and lightning bolt symbols on them.
Okay. And has Reznar ever discussed this kind of thing with Salthus in their history?
You seem to recall talking about on one particular day a few months ago, the possibility of almost retroactively sending somebody something.
All right, then. This is almost assuredly from Reznar. At some point, he is going to see that we are no longer where we're expected. Either in the past or in our future, where he is again reunited with Agamemnon, he is going to, I suspect, insert that egg into Agamemnon, who then will serve as a sort of doorway for it to pass through via time.
All I'm hearing is a lot of wibbly wobbly, timey wimey stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah, we've got a reverse time capsule.
So,
Quite possible.
While this conversation is all going on, Diazir is gonna like pick up some sand and like run sand over the surface of the egg. So like, yes, I may not be able to detect any imperfections in the finish, but like, does the sand get caught anywhere?
Is it worth identifying, perhaps?
You see that the sand freezes for like a split second as it touches the egg and then continues down past it.
So it just moves smoothly.
It moves smoothly after a slight delay.
Same sort of delay of time, like the ring. Okay. And water does the same thing, I'm assuming.
Yes, you see momentarily the drops freeze in space and then continue.
So since I'm holding the egg, and I've obviously been tapping the egg, my interaction with the egg, like me holding it, if I pull my hand away from the egg or interact with the egg, does that sort of weird little, like can I tell if there's like a field around it based on me holding it?
Not really, no.
Interesting.
Hi, Zira. Hold the egg over your other hand and let go.
So she puts out her left hand and holds the egg over her right.
Is there a delay when it drops?
And drops it.
Yes, there is a bit of a delay.
That is weird. I don't like any of that.
It could be a symptom
It's
and not
absolutely.
a problem in itself.
It's not a problem. It's simply a factor of this.
So why would they give us a thing that we can't open?
Can anyone magically identify it?
Do not have the spell.
I can see if it's magic, which we already know it is, but that's about the
Yes,
extent
by
of
now
my
your
abilities.
detect magic vision has faded now.
Yep.
I
Yes.
can take my axe to it.
Maybe not.
The only helpful thing I can do is enhance ability to help think harder.
Do all of these different things with the egg happen if we go back inside the dungeon and interact with the egg?
Let's find out.
I'm not going back in there. I'll wait out here.
You're right.
Okay. So she...
So can I grab the egg and walk inside? Just the
No, Di-Zero would walk in with you.
okay.
She's got it.
So we'll
It
solve
works.
this.
Diazia.
It works exactly the same way.
Okay.
Agamemnon, do we need to open this?
Resnarv? Salthus? Paradox? Click, click.
I think we broke them.
Zara, hand me the egg, please. Saltus takes it.
The moment you touch it,
Mm-hmm.
half of it seems to fade away. Floating within is what looks like a gray bead. And you recognize this as a mote of time that Resnarv showed you that he could do.
Did he tell me what to do with it if I were to have one?
I rolled a 2 on a D100. He told you that it would be possible to send a message back in time as a mote of time if it was sent in the form of a spell, which he then could cast and create this mote. And he theorized that by putting it into a stasis field, he could preserve the mote as long as possible, because ordinarily a mote is only survivable for 2 hours at the most. And he theorized that it would be able to last within a stasis field for longer than that.
So Di-Zero hands over the egg and she sees the egg do the thing. She goes, Salthus, but what's that?
Crystallized time, likely containing a message from Resnar for me. Let's see what happens, and he will touch the mote.
And it begins to glow. And that's where we're going to take our break.
Damn it!
Oh, no! No!
8:30.
I was
yeah.
waiting for that moment. I was looking at the
Wow.
time. I'm like, it's going to be a cliffhanger. I know it's going to be cliffhanger.
The worst, like, this is worse than a cliffhanger before combat. Like, the one thing I want, like, fighting, whatever, that's going to happen. I could die, cool, whatever. But, like, this piece of information is taunting me.
I know. The suspense is terrible. I hope it lasts.
It
All right. So we're going to take our break. We will be back in, let's see, 15, 20 minutes or so. So, by all means, get yourself hydrated. Get yourself a snack if you have not eaten yet. Please, by all means, eat. And we will see you on the other side to find out what their message from the past to the future might be. See you in a bit. And welcome back. Hopefully, all of you have been hydrated and snacked upon and taken care of other necessities.
Did you say snacked upon?
Yeah, I should hope no one's snacking on our audience.
There was
Wait.
time for that, admittedly.
Ooh,
but-
Okay. Phrasing,
Oh,
dragon.
no.
Phrasing. Phrasing, sir.
It's that cease and desist order from Finn. He's infected my subconscious now. I'm talking Bardley.
Snacked upon.
Did Shakespeare really write that? Wait.
And some people here are a whole snack, admittedly.
this needs to be a
Oh,
t-shirt.
goodness.
Yeah, like, have you been snacked upon today?
Anyway, let's play some D&D.
So, when last we left our wonderful friends, they discovered that apparently the dungeon done shifted out from under them and brought them to the other side of the world, in the midst of the Wrathlands. And something very strange happened to Agamemnon, and an egg popped out that after a while of handling and trying to experiment with and see what it was, upon touching it, Southis discovered that within was a mote of frozen time sent to him by Resnarv, the taskmaster of the Ravensfjord office of D.E.L.V.E.R.S. And you touch the bead, and it glows very bright, and all of a sudden you hear in your head, Southis, as if being the recipient of a message spell. Southis, my friend, you can stand all of this. Go home to Fjord lands. And then it ends, and the bead vanishes.
Message was garbled. His theory did not hold completely. It was a message from Reznov. He said go home. He specifically referred to Ravensfjord, which is, of course, my home, his office. The problem is there were gaps. I believe he referred to the Wraithlands, but I don't know, because it was missing, whether or not he meant that we should go through the Wrathlands or do not go through the Wrathlands. There was enough time missing for either.
Oh, great.
Given our current circumstances, I don't think we have much of a choice.
That's a good point. So our objective is to get to the wall first and foremost, correct?
I think it must be.
Do we
To and through, hopefully.
Do we want to be sneaky while we do that?
Absolutely.
I can
Almost
help
possible.
I can help with that. Are we
It will most likely take days or weeks.
Well, I can help for a certain amount of time.
Good.
Are we ready? Are we ready to go?
Have we had our... Did we decide whether we were doing a short rest or a long rest?
Yeah, we did.
Took a short rest.
Short rest.
Short rest.
Okay. Has
In
it
the
been a short
meantime-
rest?
Yes.
Then a short
Okay.
rest.
I would like to open the pouch that I found.
All right. You open it and you find within 50 draconians. Well, gold coins.
I will hand out 10 gold to each of my companions.
Is there anything special about these coins?
They do look very old.
Gwiggs is a little mystified by one of his compatriots just giving him money.
I have usually no use for material wealth, so you may distribute it amongst yourselves. It is easily splittable that way.
Strix, you do notice that these are very old coins. These are not like current draconians that circulate on the continents. You can discern that seems to be ancient Elvish.
History check to tell how ancient.
One moment. Yes, I would like to roll that as well.
All right, so you can combine your modifiers for the
Me
help.
too. If I notice
5.
that they are, do we all notice that they are like ancient?
I'm probably too stupid. I know Dwarvish, not Elvish. I don't know what this is.
I have a +7.
Dizera would definitely notice that with your archaeology background. You would definitely notice that these are ancient coins.
Okay, so I'll add my +3.
Add 5.
I'll roll.
Also, if
We
I
have +15.
What's up, Dennis?
if I read Elvish, can I read anything on these coins? If I speak Elvish?
If you read and speak Elvish, this is ancient Elvish.
Got it. Okay.
So this is a little bit trying to read Latin.
Got it.
Or Old English or Middle English.
Ah.
This would be like trying to read Middle English.
It says, this one says, forsooth. I'm not entirely sure what that means.
It means drink.
Oh, yeah,
I don't
right.
know what it means either, but I'm really thirsty now.
A total of 30. 15 + 15.
You do know this is definitely ancient Elvish. It would only seem to be about 800 years old, 800 turns old.
Only.
Anything else?
No, it just on one side it simply says it merely says a typical saying. Like one side it says it actually says Baharim on one side, which is the ancient Elvish, and also some other ancient languages word for Bahamut. And on the other side of the coin is actually a silhouette of Bahamut.
These are no longer usually used, but should still be of some value, if not more, for their age. I am perfectly all right with you safekeeping them for me, or keeping them altogether. Perhaps if one of you wants to give me one for study later.
Here.
Thank you.
Sothis, you feel a buzzing in your head.
Message spell, I suspect.
Sothis. It's very faint, but you do recognize that it's Resnar.
Resnar?
Hopefully the moat worked to build a stronger connection. Go to Ravens, Jun. Three months to go.
Oh.
Can't. Strange energies can't. And the message ends.
Oh.
On the off chance that this is ascending and therefore it could go back, I'm going to act like I've got 25 words to say back. Message received but garbled. Returning to Ravensfjord through Wrathlands. Understood. Enter Ravensfjord dungeon. Three months.
Your dungeon is a 3-month dungeon, right? No? Or does it have 3 months to go?
You know that it does have 3 months to go.
Unsure whether to enter now or wait. That's 25. And I don't even know, of course, if he heard it. So they all would have heard me. No, you don't have to speak for sending, do you? It can be mental, I think.
So they have no idea what was going on. So if you want to...
All right. I received another sending from Reznov.
No, okay.
It too was garbled, though less so. More information got through this time. He suggested that we proceed to the Ravensfjord dungeon. It is a 6-month dungeon. There are, at the time we left, 3 months before it returns. Now, the problem is, part of the message was missing. I do not know if he was telling me there was 3 months left, or that we are to enter it in 3 months and somehow travel with it if we find it.
That seems like a plausible plan. Your dungeon is a phantom mountain, correct?
Correct, it is.
That gives us some indication.
But is its other end also here in the Wrathlands?
That is the best hypothesis we have, if that is the plan he suggested for our current situation.
Oh, please don't tell me we're going to have to go through this.
It seems we are.
Through here, but through the Wrathlands. Now the problem is, are we looking for the dungeon's other side here? And how do we find it if we are?
If Diazira's careful theory is somehow to be believed, we might try to go in the same direction as going to Ravensfjord from the desert would be.
Mm-hmm. Or it could be mirrored.
It may very well be mirrored.
Yes.
We don't know the shape of the Wrathlands. That is the problem.
The safest thing to do would be to go to the wall, get over it, and see if we can find help on the other side.
Yeah. I'm down for. I'm up for getting to the other side of the wall and then going from there. I feel like the faster we get out of this immediate place, the better, and then we can make a more what's the word? Informed plan.
How far would Ravensfjord be away from the desert location on our own homeland?
All right, let me check my map. I believe I put a map in the Discord, didn't I?
You did.
Probably.
And it's very far.
Yeah, it's very far up this way.
So would it be contained in the Wrathlands then? Hypothetically, if we're going by that plan?
We don't know. That's the problem.
Yeah.
60 miles. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 600, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16 times 60, approximately 1,100 miles. Right? 1,000 miles?
16 times 60.
1,000 miles.
I do have
900.
It's 960.
Yeah,
960 miles.
proud of myself.
Well, it sounds like we got 3 months to get there, so it also sounds like we shouldn't waste any time. I
is
will.
The
just-
question is, what direction are we going?
Exactly.
Strix, you're able to figure that if you travel 8 hours a day, barring any sort of encounters, different terrain types, it would take somewhere around 40 days to get there on foot.
Barring any sort of delays, it would take us 40 days to get through the location of this dungeon in our own desert to Ravensfjord. That means that we cannot afford to first travel to the wall and then see. We need to make that decision here.
Oh, so the alternative plan is going through the Wrathlands to what we, correct me if I'm wrong, to what we believe is the mirrored location of the Ravensfjord dungeon, or...
Yes.
Oh, right.
Unfortunately, we do not know whether it is the mirror or whether it goes directly through. That is a guess we're going to have to make.
I still say if we could just get to the other side of the wall and get in contact with people on the other side, we could maybe find a way to send a message to the Delvers. And maybe one of them could come and make a teleportation circle or something. Or
Do
send
we
instructions.
even know that the wall can be crossed?
There's a gate
That-
somewhere, ain't there?
Do we know that?
There is a gate in the Barony of Fendalia.
Which is where along the wall?
It's pretty much smack dab in the middle of the southern part of the continent of Thrid. So you do not currently know where exactly you are in relation to that.
Yeah.
Strix, you would know just from your observations by looking in your estimates that it would take almost as long, if not longer, to get to where you see the wall in the north than it would to where you think the Ravensfjord dungeon might be.
Oh,
On a direct path, it would take us just as long, if not longer, to get to any point in the wall. That is, barring finding any sort of gate. Also, I would assume that if there are enemies bent on destroying people from the continent, they would more frequently engage with the areas around the wall. I hypothesize that that would be the more dangerous path to take, instead of a seemingly random cross through the lands.
I'm gonna roll one of Dustin's d20s. I feel like we should go through the Wrathlands.
We are going to have to cross at least 40 days through the Wrathlands, whichever choice we make. I suggest we follow the directions of
Yeah,
the teacher. Then.
the not towards the wall one. Is that what you're
So-
saying?
Yes.
Yeah, all right.
Diazira looks at Salthus. Salthus,
Zara,
do you trust him?
implicitly. Reznarf, completely. I trust him absolutely. The problem is not a lack of trust in him, it is a lack of confidence into our interpretation of his message.
Yes. The good news is that if we follow a mirrored path to the Ravensfjord dungeon where we approximate it is, that will also take us closer to the wall. So our progress is not lost if that path ends up being unfruitful.
If it's mirrored, we should go south. Ravensfjord is to the north. And
It would be twice mirrored then.
Are there any landmarks in between where we are and the Ravensfjord dungeon that we could maybe cross-reference, like if we're going the right way?
several. And I believe we might, in taking that path, cross the location of at least one other dungeon.
Yes, the Vecton dungeon.
So if we go that way and we don't come across that dungeon where we believe it should be,
Yes.
then we know that we're not doing where our hypothesis is wrong.
Correct.
Yes.
The problem is that one is about halfway there from here. Possibly
Right,
there's a closer one, but I have forgotten that any in the map on that location.
Yeah, those are our dungeons. Would I know of another dungeon that is relatively close that should not be set to reappear on our continent right now? So that should hypothetically be here.
Science.
At this point in time, all of your dungeons that are close enough. Remember that your dungeons were originally anywhere from 6 to 10 days out by cart, away from the Satherton.
Yeah.
Or rather,
I'm asking about dungeons that are not our dungeons because I'm looking at those on the map, and those are pretty far away from here.
I actually do not have more than the dungeons that were in the immediate area. There are dungeons further south, and there are dungeons further to the west. The only one that you know of that is anywhere within a reasonable amount of time is the Ravensfjord dungeon. The others are all in recess. The Ravensfjord dungeon is the one that will be appearing the soonest.
We're asking so we can confirm our hypothesis about where everything is. Yeah. That's why we just want to see any other dungeons. Would be
if this is indeed where all the dungeons are.
Mm-hmm.
Theoretically, by heading north for about 25 of the 40 days or so,
yes,
you should see the Thuckton dungeon.
Okay. But that would also bring us in the direction of the wall, almost directly.
But is it north or is it south? That's my problem.
I think using like a little bit of like gut feeling here, if Dragon says north, I'm going to trust he's not leading us purposefully astray then. So it might still be left right mirrored.
Yeah.
But I'm just going to trust that
it's not.
Dragon, with all of my background, there's no way I can get any sort of hint in which direction we need to go.
The thing is, there aren't duplicate landmarks, like there aren't duplicate mountain ranges or hills or rivers. If there are other dungeons in the Wrathlands, that would be pretty much it, as far as being a duplicate.
Right, but I can't see
duplicate, so to speak.
Okay, but I can't tell where the sun rose or where the sun set or any of the...
That's part of the problem because of the overlying cloud cover.
Okay.
We took an hour, right?
Yeah.
For a short rest.
Mm-hmm.
There are some beams of light coming down, surely, if it's day at all. Have any of them changed angle?
Maybe just slightly, because the thing is, not much is really known about the Wrathlands, that how weather works, how daylight or night even works in the Wrathlands, because logic would dictate that it should be pitch blackout right now because it's on the other side of the world, and you were in daylight when you went inside the dungeon.
Oh, Denos has an idea. Do we know which direction the wall travels?
It's east-west, isn't it?
Yes.
Oh,
Is it parallel with us or perpendicular?
I thought the wall went around the Wrathlands, so we wouldn't know if it's around a geographic area which side we were on.
Is that the case?
It's pretty much you're pretty much going on the hypothesis based on the appearance of these lands. If you can see the wall would be visible on the other side on the continent of Thrid as well.
Uh-huh.
But as far as you know, from speaking to other people in travels and other delvers that have come from Thrid, you know that there's no real situation with the clouds and always night or day there. So it's pretty safe to assume that you're on the wrong side of the wall.
No, we know we're on the wrong side of it.
We're
But
assuming the wall is north.
does it
Yes.
encapsulate or does it simply run once, like the Great Wall of China?
You actually have heard tell that the wall actually circumnavigates. It even goes through the oceans.
Dang it. All right.
It is completely... Nobody knows who built it, although it is suspected that it was the draconic gods that built this.
I suggest that our best course of action would be to head in the exact direction that on our own world we would head towards the dungeon of Thekton. If we do not find it there, we can walk a perpendicular path directly to see if it would be mirrored on the other side. In both cases, we would have enough days left to, from there, reach the Ravensbourne dungeon.
Reasonable course of action.
Sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, all right.
And if we really
At
book
this-
it, we
at
would
this-
maybe even still have time to go to the entire other side.
At this point in time, you hear Paradox? Paradox?
Not
Click.
again.
I'm gonna pick up Agamemnon and just like hold him.
oh.
I'm actually reasonably concerned about this bird now.
You notice that he's starting to glow again.
Hmm?
Oh, there.
Perhaps he needs to lay another egg.
You notice
There.
that
Have another message?
his head starts clicking a lot and his beak opens wide. And it almost sounds...
Oh.
Owl pellet.
Oh no.
I'll pat his back.
And out of him and bounces off your head what looks like a small scroll tube.
Oh,
Oh,
Oi.
good. Not an owl pellet. I've seen enough owl pellets. You don't
Oh.
want to know what's in an owl pellet.
Ow.
Motion
I'm
to
simply
Salthus to pick it up, yeah.
Going to, pick it up.
You see it, and it's a small leather scroll case that has the symbol of a blue feather on it.
Oh.
This would seem to be more your area.
I get done rubbing my face. What?
Blue feather.
Oh. Well, that's interesting, and I'll take it.
Yes, you do.
All right.
I'm holding it.
It feels very natural. It feels kind of nice that you're holding this.
All right.
It's just a case right now. Do you want to open it?
Yeah, I'll put it in my other hand, and I'll kind of... Yeah, all right, man. What do you have in store for me? And I'll take the cap off.
And inside is a folded up rolled scroll. And there are letters on it that you can read. Several of them are formed from blue feathers.
Well, this is not something you see every day. What does it say?
None of this is.
That's a fair point.
Well, first off, you notice that Agamemnon is starting to word down a little bit and quiet down. And almost somehow a metallic sigh of relief.
Agamemnon has had quite a rough go.
Yeah, while I'm looking at whatever the parchment is, I'm gonna just kind of rub his back.
Can I oil some of his gears? Like, I assume I have a little bit of oil with me for me.
Someone needs to take care of him. These kind of things come out of both
Can I
ways.
oil some of his gears? Yeah.
As soon as I said the words owl pellet, my brain immediately realized that a bunny would not like the look of an owl pellet.
This is true. Okay. You get the feeling that this is indeed a clerical scroll.
Interesting. Can I tell if it is of a level of which I can cast?
By scanning through it and muttering to yourself and muttering to Min, you realize that this is at a slightly higher level than you're used to. But there is a chance that you might be able to use it.
Yo, right.
And if Min is about anything, he likes a game of chance occasionally.
That he does, and I'll be
Would
looking.
you like some inspiration or perhaps some enhanceability cast on you?
Yeah, I'll look at the
Or both.
scroll. I'll look at the scroll and I'll just say, Min, you tricky bugger. Yeah. So this is a clerical spell scroll. But it's very, very complicated. I would appreciate any help, but I'm pretty certain that my deity is trying to help.
What's it do? Like, what's a spell?
I'm not entirely sure. Can I make an Arcana check to see if I know? I imagine the DC
Yes.
will be stupid high, but
You can make an Arcana check.
how is my Arcana not good? Let's see
You
what
need
happens.
help.
And my assistance if it would help.
Can I take his assistance?
Yes.
Thank God.
Add 5.
You can also add 5 from me.
Okay, so plus 10 to whatever this, or to what I just rolled, or do I roll again?
No, you roll. You add those modifiers to your roll.
The one that I just rolled.
Yes.
Got it. So that is a 17.
Would your bless apply?
that ability check?
Yes, it would.
All right, cool.
Actually, no, it wouldn't. I'm sorry.
No?
Sorry. No,
Okay.
it would only be for a saving throw or an attack roll. The bless.
That's right. Can I guide myself?
Cast guidance on yourself.
The 17 is good enough. This is a commune spell.
Oh.
Shit.
Oh.
This is normally quite a bit higher than your pay grade.
Yeah. It appears that this scroll will allow me to communicate semi-directly with my deity, which might be of some assistance to us in this current situation.
I
Yes.
will inspire you by pointing out some pronunciations of weird words. For the next 10 minutes, you can add a d6.
Okay.
Would you also like me to enhance your ability with which you cast spells? It is the last second level spell that I have for today.
I mean, I think it will be helpful. I would appreciate it. However, you don't have to if you would like to conserve your energy.
I will throw a look at Salthus to see what he thinks of the idea. I trust his counsel.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but your god favors stacking the deck, does he not?
Yeah, he's a tricky bugger.
Cast the spell.
That's fair. That's
I
fair.
will cast Enhance Ability. I'm gonna take a guess and give you Owl's Wisdom.
Ding ding. I think.
I'm gonna assume Wisdom instead of Intelligence, but that's a gamble.
Yeah.
Also, Owl fits, so.
Oh.
I'm gonna tap my crystal and it's gonna glow for the next hour.
Got it. Okay. I will then attempt to read the scroll and cast the spell.
And
Everybody might want to give me some space.
Steps back.
all right, so give me a wisdom roll.
Oh, thank goodness.
You have
Okay.
advantage.
So just a wisdom check?
Yes.
Okay.
Plus inspiration.
Yes. So there's the first one.
You have the
Ooh.
inspiration, plus you have the advantage from the enhanced.
Yeah. So I'm going to roll
Ability.
again and hope that that's higher. Yes. I'm going to roll a d6.
So far, all our advantages have been clutch.
Mm-hmm. That is a 22 without the inspiration. I'm adding the
Ooh.
inspiration. That is a 24 total.
You feel a surge of vision opening before you. You feel like you're one with the picture behind you right now.
Love it.
So you feel the vastness of the universe that you've never felt before. And you hear a familiar chuckle.
I will look around me.
Well, boyo, here we are. You know, that salty elephant really is a smart cookie.
Yeah, you know, I didn't have much faith in him, to be honest, but I think he's a keeper. I do quite like him now.
So I'm talking about the elephant that's guy's boss. Imagine the chutzpah it took to send a scroll at a higher level back to you through some timey-wimey shenanigans.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm pretty lost with all this, wibbly wobbly, timey wimey stuff.
Well, here's the deal, boyo. This is what you get. You only get 3 questions. 1, 2, 3. I can only give you a yes or a no.
Yeah, all right.
So that's the deal. That's part and parcel of the whole thing. So if you were to ask me, oh, where in the world am I would say, well, you're right there, and that's not a yes or no question. That's not a yes or no question, and I can't give you an answer for that. And you would have wasted a question.
That's fair. You know what I should have done? I should have asked my friends what questions I should have asked.
Oh,
But
you still can.
I look around. Do I see my friends?
Oh, yeah, they're there.
Oh, okay. I thought it was in the vastness of space right now, and I was like, oh God, what have I done?
No, you see, and although the rest of you see this strange, rather large black cavalier hat with a large blue feather just floating in space, seemingly talking to Danos.
Yeah, so his thing...
Hey,
What?
Are they confused?
I look around. Does it look like everyone's confused?
Strix does not look confused.
I'm very confused.
I'm confused.
Okay. Well, I know they are. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Zira just kind of looks amused. Like, interesting show.
I wasn't expecting to be visited by the Sorting Hat's party years.
So here's the thing, everyone. We've got three yes or no questions. What would we like to know?
Well, for one, if the course that we are planning on taking will bring us to the Ravensford dungeon. Well, no, that would maybe also lead to eventually, yes.
Yeah.
It all depends on how you ask it. So,
Yes.
I've got some ideas. Should I just wing this?
hold
What
on.
are your ideas?
Hold on. Let him know that our discussion is not you asking questions. Just in case it gets the idea that you're asking questions before we're ready.
Man, you heard that, right?
Of course I did. I'm not deaf.
All right. I think we're good.
Perhaps...
Look, is this going to take long? I've got a date with Dorinda.
Yeah. All right. First question.
All right, because come on, the meat is waiting for me.
Yeah. When the dungeons disappear from Huurkkun, do they go through the center of the world and come here? Do they just bounce back and forth?
Technically, that's two, boyo.
No, don't answer the second one. Just the first one.
That's also technically two.
I will say this, though. I can't say whether or not you're on the right track. But, yes.
You're right. That's fair enough. He said yes.
Yes to
Okay.
Well, you heard the question I just asked.
Whether they come directly to this place after disappearing from Huurkkun.
That's not what he asked.
Maybe they
go
eventually
straight
end up here.
through?
My question out of game. My question was, do the dungeons in Huurkkun travel through the center of the earth and end up here? That was how I worded it, correct?
And I think his answer was, they might not travel through the center of the earth, but they sure do end up here. That's how it sounded.
Yeah. I intended the question as a, is it a this? But I think the answer is it's a this.
Maybe.
Be careful. Be careful how you word things, boyo.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay, I love these logic games. I love these games.
Perhaps
By the way, love the hat. It still looks great on you.
Oh, thank you. And I'll stroke the feather.
Perhaps ask if our first idea for a course will indeed bring us to the Ravensford dungeon.
In time.
I mean, okay, I think maybe the best thing to ask would maybe to ask if the Ravensford dungeon is north of here.
But we don't know where north is.
Is it exactly
is it
the
that
same
way, then?
in relationship to here as it would be on Huurkkun?
Or you could.
You're still on Huurkkun. You're just not on Firth.
Yeah.
You could ask, if we travel in this direction through the wastelands, will we find the dungeon that we're looking for in 25 days? Or within time for it to,
That's asking about Tecton.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to ask about Ravensford.
I was talking about Ravens.
It's 40 days.
That's 40, yeah.
However long it's going to take. The point is, if we say we are going to take this path, will it get us to where we want to go? That is a yes or no question.
By the way, Dizera, Thokton is your home office.
And maybe the third question should be, if we are in the Ravensford dungeon, when it moves, will we be back on Firth?
Yeah, all right. Let's pump the brakes a little bit, because the answer to this question might influence our next question.
I
So-
think the question should be, is the Ravensford dungeon on this side in the same relation to the dungeon we're at right now as it would be on our side? That gives us information about all the directions and durations.
True.
So, Min, this is not directed at you. So what you're intending is, are the dungeons mirrored? Is that what you want the answer to?
If we travel in the same direction as we would to Ravensford, if we were on the other side, would we end up at the Ravensford dungeon? Yes.
All right, men. If we travel in the same general direction that we would travel to get to Ravensfjord. Yeah, you following me so far? Nope, that wasn't a question.
I'll just point.
Yeah, if we go that way, will we get to Ravensfjord within, what was it?
40.
3 months?
Ravensfjord dungeon.
Yeah.
Within 40 days.
If we go that way, will we get to Ravensfjord dungeon within 40 days? 40 days. I'm going with that.
Well, yeah.
That did not sound very convincing, man.
Barring delays, perhaps?
Barring
His
delays.
hesitance?
Yeah.
If we traveled fast enough is the way I am reading that.
Yeah, I would have suggested maybe saying 50 days since we said within. Other way.
Also, to be clear, 1, does anybody see anything more than a floating hat? 2, does anybody
No.
hear the answers?
No.
Is this all happening in my head?
No.
That part is happening in your head. The only thing that they know is the hat moving.
Okay.
Yeah, and your responses.
You're the only one perceiving that.
Yeah, all right.
And you are seeing exactly what I'm doing right now. Min is doing.
Okay. All right. Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. He said yes, but not very convincingly.
Real quick, is it the hat that's on his head that's moving, or is a second hat appeared?
No, it's the second hat. It's a disembodied hat floating.
Okay,
in
I
front
just
of
wanted
him.
to make sure that was the way that I was interpreting it. Okay.
It's a very large hat. It's like ridiculously large.
Is it bigger than mine?
Oh yes, well
course it
yours
is.
would be a normal size for a human. On your head, it's small,
Yeah, that's
which
true.
is why he loves you wearing it so much.
Because it's not bigger than his hat.
Yeah, all right.
That's right.
I
Fine.
assume he means it is technically a 40-day journey away, but we would be very lucky to indeed make it in 40 days.
I don't
Final
like assumptions, but that's the best we can do.
question.
Could you tell me how he responded to my hypothesis?
Was your hypothesis my first question or the second question?
It was me uttering the sentence I just did.
Oh, he's touching his nose.
Ah, good.
Um,
Confirmation.
Not sure if he has to sneeze or what's going
You're
on there.
saying
Yes.
on the nose.
Oh, yeah, right.
Information.
Thank you.
Oh, all right. Look, Min, I'm not that intelligent. I'm pretty sure you can gather that.
I know, boyo, but I keep telling you yes or no. Look, you know me.
Yeah.
I don't exactly follow the rules, but I gotta follow some of the rules because otherwise it causes all sorts of problems, mass hysteria, dogs and cats living together.
Yeah. Okay. Right. That's a
I
disturbing
think
thought.
the suggested third question was a good suggestion in this case.
Min, this is not to you. What was the suggested third question?
Squeaks, repeat your question, please.
If we are in the Ravensfjord dungeon,
Is that a bunny?
You
You don't hear
You
him
You don't
say
hear
that.
him.
If we are in... Okay, now I'm losing my train of thought.
Yeah, all of a sudden I turn my head and say, yes, it is.
What?
Nothing. Keep going. Continue.
Alright. If we are in the Ravensfjord dungeon, when it appears on Firth, will we be in Firth? If we're in the Ravensfjord dungeon, when it is supposed to come up in Firth, will we go with it to Firth?
Right. I see your question.
He's got a cute little axe, doesn't he?
Perhaps ask your deity to answer the question that Squeaks just asked instead of feeling the need to repeat it.
Careful.
That would save
Good for chopping
their precious
carrots.
time.
Careful.
Yeah,
if you say, could you answer his question,
to
please?
do that,
the
I have to
answer
ask
yes
a question, so I'll
would
just
be
answer.
What is the answer to his question? What is the answer to his question?
I'm going to repeat Squeaks' question. I'm going to ignore everyone else speaking to me, and I'm going to repeat Squeaks' question.
Probably wise.
There's too many voices. My ADD is going crazy.
Come on. Let the little bunny do it.
Yeah.
That's great. I haven't seen a bunny from the Feywild in ages.
Yeah,
wow.
He's a bundle of fun, I'll tell you what. But
well, he's got that little axe there. It's darling, I tell you.
Yeah. I will tell you.
What you're talking about?
I will tell you.
You don't hear me. You don't hear me.
Yeah, I know. I just hear him saying something about somebody else, and I'm just like.
I will tell you this, man. Above all else, this bunny must live. Well, that is my prayer. That is my prayer to you. Anyways.
Thank you.
If we are, yeah, you just hear that. If we are in the Ravensfjord dungeon, when it, does its thing, will we then be transported to the continent where we came from? Of Firth.
Oh, by great Bahamut! You asked a correct question. I'm so proud of you, boyo.
Yeah, well, even a broken clock's right twice a day. All right.
It's very animated for a yes or no.
Just for that, and your hat gets a little bigger.
Hey!
Well, the answer is yes. The answer is yes. And you see a bunch of lights spring up in back of him like a game show going bing 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 bing.
Do we see that too?
Yes, you do actually.
Yeah, if you can't interpret it from all the lights, the answer was yes.
Apparently enthusiastic, yes.
Yes.
Well, it's about that time, boyo. This was fun. We probably won't be able to get to do this again anytime real soon. But just remember, I'm always there. And I'm always there for you.
Yeah, I know.
All right, now if you'll excuse me, I really gotta go. Because Dorinda's waiting for me. She don't like to be kept waiting.
Oh, you cheeky bugger.
And you see the hat disappear. And the feather flies up. The feather stays behind for a split second more and flies up, and it explodes like fireworks.
Well, he is nothing if not theatrical.
Well done, Denos.
Really hope that didn't signal anything.
If I know men how I think I do, I imagine it probably did. So we should move.
We should go. Yeah.
Definitely should be moving.
And
Strix,
we will.
The direction you chose. I think we should all proceed in it.
My movements are a little bit stiff because I've used most of my magic for the day.
Yeah, all right. And we head off that way.
While we're walking, how much food does everyone have?
I was about to ask the same question.
Well,
you were given some provisions.
Few days.
You each have a few days worth of rations, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, my starter equipment should have. Nope.
Ooh, yep. I have as much as they gave us.
Yeah.
However, remember though that you should be able to, Dennis. The next time if you haven't chosen it for this day, you can choose on other days to create food and water.
That's what I just looked for, and it is not currently available to me. I have create and destroy water.
So then,
That's important.
so then, after your long rest, you will be able to change your spells out.
Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
Not only do I not have creator food water not prepared, but it's not available to me at this level.
Ah.
Yes.
Well, at least we'll have water.
Yeah, water's important.
Yeah, all right. Will.
Actually, Squeaks, you do have your jug.
I was thinking if I needed to make water or something, but I'm also kind of wondering if it could make soup. I don't know. I'd have to reread the properties.
Yours does actually make carrot juice.
Oh yeah.
That is hilarious.
Yeah, that was one of the reasons it was given to me. Because Corbin is a dillweed.
Worst case
he
scenario.
He knows I'm on a diet.
Worst case scenario.
I'm saying this in character out loud because that's going to really. Sophis is looking at you going, "You have an alchemy jug?"
Oh yeah, and I hold up a small yellow jug. It's scaled to me. Yeah.
He has a wee jug.
It makes carrot juice, apparently, which could at least give us some calories to walk on. And live on, I suppose.
Yeah.
If nothing else.
Worst case scenario, we won't all die. That's good to know, but that's a week away.
Worst case scenario, we're on a liquid diet.
Yeah.
Until we find other sources of food.
Yeah.
You get used to it.
Do not worry. If all of you die from starvation, I will tell your stories to your families.
That is the most comforting thing you've ever said.
I apologize.
Somebody clip that, please. Somebody clip that.
Please. Jesus.
So, are we resting anymore, or are we starting to move?
I think we
If I know anything about
here.
deserts, you usually want to sleep through the day when it's hottest and travel at night when it's cooler.
Agamemnon, are you done with your laying of eggs and messages?
I certainly hope so. Click.
Yeah, same. And I'm still like, after he's been oiled and pampered and, comforted, I'll just like pick him back up and I'm like cradling him now.
Wait.
No, you're adorable.
Wait. I have to leave something. I have to leave something in the dungeon.
Yeah, all right. Do you need me to carry you? Can you fly?
And sorry, I'm being besieged by a cat at the moment. He's 1 second. 1 second, click. And he coughs up, although not as strenuously, a little bead into your hand. Put that in the dungeon.
Yeah, all right. I'll set him down. I'll run over to the entrance.
Part of the mysterious
and
extra functions that the chairman alluded to, I see.
And I'll just toss it in the front door.
Yeet.
I will yeet it into the front door.
Okay. You watch it. You actually can see it going because it starts to light up. And it embeds itself into the wall opposite you.
As soon as I see it impact, I'm like, oh, well, job done. And I'll run back.
That's out of the way.
You okay, bud?
Well done, Agamemnon.
Hopefully, that will work. Click.
Work for what?
Help with tracking. Click.
Interesting.
Yeah, all right. Shall
Let's
we be
get a
off
move
then?
on then. Yes.
Yes. I will start a new map of the road we travel.
All right. So
Blaze.
you're starting your journey into the Wrathlands to try to get to the Ravensfjord, where you think the Ravensfjord dungeon is. Are you going to first try to? You do have a map, by the way, of the immediate area with all the dungeons on it, so you'd be able to possibly use that at least as a reference if they are in fact in the same direction that you're heading in. Are you planning on trying to see if you can find Thokton first and then continue to Ravensfjord, or are you just going to try to get to Ravensfjord?
I vote Thokton.
I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, the rest of the party, but it was confirmed via the questions that if we just go to Ravensfjord, like, that's the way to go.
Yes.
That's how I interpreted that. Okay.
I don't trust a god of mischief. Even in a game of questions.
Fair point. However,
No.
I trust him to a point.
Our path is as confirmed as it could be.
He's a troublemaker. I don't believe he would point me directly at the danger.
Well, he could be pointing us directly at the danger and still be pointing us in the right direction.
Yeah, also a fair point.
All right, well, I don't trust the god, but I trust you, so...
Eyes and ears wide open. Those
I say we head towards Ravensfjord.
Yeah, we travel a direct line.
All right. Well, you can tell that it goes on for a bit. It's not going to be the same kind of terrain because there are crops of peaks and small mountains and hills along the way.
Just as a note, as we begin to travel, I'm going to cast Pass Without a Trace. And I'm going to give Blessing of the Trickster to myself. Because I have disadvantage.
And you hear a chuckle. You sneaky bugger.
Yeah,
you hear that.
Yeah, I think in my head, you taught me well.
Dragon, it has now become my secondary goal that if we get out of here, I have as complete a map of the Wrathlands as I can make with my experiences. So I'm gonna spend the nights filling that out and coloring in mountain ranges, how high the mountains are, etc., etc. That's gonna be my passive.
All right, so you walk for a few hours.
Do we need to all roll stealth?
Not at the moment.
Okay.
You walk out for a couple of hours. You figure you've gotten a good 5 miles away from the dungeon. And you're all feeling a little bit more at ease. And Strix, you notice that some of your systems seem to be a little bit more functional again. That semi-disruptive hum that you were picking up is gone.
Oh. It appears that we are outside of the range of the dungeon that prevented teleportation and the like. Perhaps that was what was interfering with our messages.
Wasn't that 11 miles in size from when it was on Firth?
Approximately, yes.
We have not traveled 11 miles yet.
We have traveled half.
Maybe it's a shorter distance. In which case, maybe Ravensfjord is even closer on this side.
Hopefully.
Possibly.
It's like Nether from Minecraft.
Give me, Salthus, give me an Arcana check. You're thinking about that and you're wondering maybe it might have to do with the fact that the dungeon was teleported there, that the disturbance was brought about by the dimensional shift. That because that might not be the natural location for the dungeon.
Oh, okay. So the other dungeons, when they come up, they don't have that effect because that's where they belong when they rise. But this one being out of place. Sophis is going to discuss that theory with Strix.
Do I have anything to add?
Well, you now have a little bit more idea of where you are. You can more easily correlate the locations on the map that you have with the current surroundings. In other words, you can get a little bit better of a fix where you are in the world. You know for a fact that you are on the opposite side of the world from where you are. You don't have anything in the way of like a long range scan that you can see where other dungeons might be, but you have enough of a bearing that you know which direction to go into properly.
All right. Now that we are out of interference, it seems that we are indeed walking in the correct direction.
Between the two of you, give me an Arcana check, Strix.
We're discussing this. Can she add my?
Yes, add Sothis's.
So plus 10, that's 23, sorry.
Okay. You are able... Sorry, I'm trying to stop a cat from hanging herself on my mic cord.
Please, yeah.
You're able to reason and figure that it was definitely an unusual situation that brought that particular dungeon to where it was, and it was definitely giving off a more powerful dimensional off-put, so to speak. So it was definitely a stronger vibe because in as you said, it did not necessarily belong where it was. Okay. So it seems to be more stable here than it was there.
Yes.
And it's because of that the field seems to be shorter in distance.
But I can now better sense which direction to go in, like where we approximately are.
Yes. And judging by that sense, you're able to more accurately figure it that your basic assumptions as far as time would be to go there. And you also do now realize too, your sense of time is also more on track now. There was a little bit of distortion inside the dungeon. And that might also have to do something with the problems encountered by every other delving team trying to map out the dungeons.
Because time felt faster or time felt slower?
It felt warped, like sometimes a little faster, sometimes a little slower. Perceptions of everything were a little bit off. That's why people can not real. That's one theory as to why the dungeons can't be accurately mapped.
Because perception is not exact.
Right. So that's also why I was saying the room is either 80 or 90 feet wide.
Okay, I will share this as musings just with the group. I feel no need to keep that to myself. But I do adjust our course by approximately 1.5 degrees.
Boy, you're handy.
I am still not fully functional, but functional enough.
You all right?
We seem to be doing just fine to me.
So do you.
Aw.
We're keeping the same traveling order that we did in the dungeon. Seems wise.
I suggest we fan out a little bit more.
You don't need to stay single file. This is pretty much the wide open. This is pretty much like steps right here where you are right now, as opposed to a pure dungeon. It was a little bit more, a desert. It was a little bit more sandy and barren immediately around the dungeon. But now every so often there's like dead grass, dead bushes and whatnot as you walk by. Hills, little hills rising here and there. As you're going along, I need... Who's in the lead?
I guess I am, because I'm charting course.
I imagine the rogue would be.
Like if
I
you give
usually
me
am,
if you point me in the general direction, like, I mean, it doesn't really matter where I am. I'm basically scanning.
Just scouting
whenever.
ahead.
I don't think anyone's really in the lead. Yeah.
I usually try to be sort of near the front because I don't like going into my rage with people in front of me.
So just
I've
about
seen
the
that.
same people. So that would be Dizera and Squeaks.
Okay.
We all just clumped.
All right. You know what? Everybody, give me a perception check, please.
Oh, that was almost a 19.
That would be an 11.
25 with a nat 20.
Nice.
Well,
Okay.
Good
You
thing you're in the lead.
14.
you are the
14.
first to feel a bit of rumbling in the ground.
Does it feel like the rumble from like when we were in the dungeons?
No, it feels and sounds like the rumblings you heard when you were in the desert.
I stopped moving.
Yeah, so she just kind of like stop, like she freezes dead in her tracks and like just holds up a hand.
I'll just.
Nobody move or make any sound.
Freeze.
Everybody give me a dexterity save.
Oh,
Oh
man.
no.
This ain't gonna be fun. This is.
Remember, if you have
Can I
less,
see it? Whatever's coming, can I see it? Because if I can see it, I have advantage.
That would be a 10 for me.
No, not in this case.
14.
18.
11.
You can use
That's
your
with
bless
the
on a
bless?
saving throw.
Yeah, I did.
Oh.
It was real bad.
Okay.
11.
6.
All right. If you made a 12 or if you made under 12, you fall down
Okay.
and you hear the rumbling getting louder, and up through the dirt about 40 to 50 feet away from you is fortunately a smaller version of the skull worm that you saw out in the desert. And that's where we're going to end tonight's game.
Oh, bother.
Oh, silence fell left.
So, interesting. You've had a very eventful evening, my friends. Oh, dearie.
This It'll be great. It'll be fine. We'll be fine.
All
Dark,
fine.
do we have
Just
vision?
Hmm?
Like, is it dark, or do we have vision?
No, you have vision. It's this strange
Okay.
weather conditions of the Wrathlands.
Oh man.
It's like kind of a constant twilight situation.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
Mm.
But in any event, dear friends and fiends, tonight's chosen was Strix. And she did find that little coin purse. Banes and boons are not always huge. Some of them can be, but some of them, just be thankful they're a boon.
Trust me, I was thankful.
So that is where we leave it for tonight, face to face with a skullworm.
Woot.
So yes, oh my, we're going to be starting with some fun next week as we journey further into the Wrathlands, trying to find your way to Ravensfjord. Well, the Ravensfjord dungeon at least. Finding that big old Phantom Mountain. So, friends and fiends, do me a favor and kindly give your kind attention to our wonderful players here. And we'll find out what they're up to and where we can find them at. And we're going to start with Celine.
Hey, I'm Celine. It's really easy to find me. You can find me on Twitter at Celine. You can find me on Twitch at Celine, hanging out in random Twitch channels, moderating, just hanging out. I will, for sure, be at Utharian Legends here on Chaotic Tiefling ATL at 11 a.m. Eastern Time on Sunday. So come join us. Have some orange juice or mimosas if you'd like, and see more of the fallout from the fireball.
Fireball! Oh dear. All right, thank you, Celine. Next up, Traveler Fallout.
Thank you, Dragon. That was specifically for you, Sarah.
Is
It's
she in
your
the
fault.
chat?
You
Is she-
asked for it.
Is she
I
in
don't
the
know.
chat?
She'll see it eventually.
I don't know. We can clip it though.
Yep.
We'll totally.
She'll see it eventually. Anyway, the Shadowrun Anarchy actual play Shadows over Charlotte continues on the Dice Fiends podcast, releasing weekly or semi-weekly. Let's just go with that, depending on this kind of wibbly wobbly schedule there too. Other than that, if you want to find me, I will announce whatever I'm doing on Twitter at TWFRland. Follow me there. Thank you.
All right, thank you, my friend. And Lydia.
Hello, you can find me on Twitter at Lydia_Gaz.
Anything else?
And of course, find me here every week.
Okay.
Yes.
All righty. Oh, Big Bear.
Oh, hello there. I have been Big B's Hand. You can find me on Twitter at Big B's Hand. You can also find me on Twitch at BigB's_Hand. I just found a place, so I'm going to start resuming streaming soon. So go ahead and drop me a follow so you know when I go live.
All righty then.
I'm just looking forward to Survival Saturday, Big B.
Yep, same.
I miss Survival Saturday.
And of course, on Sunday.
Oh, and you can also find me here on Utharian Legends every other Sunday. Specifically this Sunday, we are back.
All righty then. And Bob.
Hello. You'll occasionally find me skulking around in someone's chat or other. And of course, you will see me next week, returning as Squeaks. Other than that, I'm just lurking.
Lurking is working. Okay, and Lorai.
Hey, I've been Lorai. You can find me here every week, or you can find me on twitch.tv/chaotic_lawful_inc, where I stream. I am currently casting for my all bard one-shots upcoming, which I'm using to fundraise for my acting education. So if you have any talent at all, it doesn't have to be singing, it can be woodworking, dancing, drawing, whatever, and you want to show that off in a fun D&D one-shot, then go and check out my Twitter profile, because there's all the links, at Lawmaster Lori or at Chaotic Law Inc. And also, we just started a new Candlekeep playthrough on Saturday evenings, if you like Candlekeep. So, check us out. We're doing fun stuff.
Now, keep in mind that Lori's in Europe, so everything's going to be a bit earlier over here on this side of the pond.
Yeah.
So, and again, I have to say thank you so much. We know how late it is over there for you. So thank you so much for being here with us. And
wouldn't miss it for the world.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. Does this old draconic heart good? You all do this draconic heart good. And I thank you all very much for playing in this insane experiment with me. But friends and fiends, I have been your humble dungeon master, and a happy dungeon master and a lucky dungeon master to be playing with this great crew of folks. And you can find me on the Twitter sphere at Draconic Verses. That's one word. And you can also find me, of course, using at D&D Surprise Party minus the U in surprise, because Twitter is cheap with their characters. But anyway. And of course, if you hit exclamation point forsooth, that'll give you a link to the aforementioned TeePublic stuff, which I can't talk about because I got a cease and desist. Finn! And I will be most grateful for anybody stopping by and picking up some stuff. So, my friends and fiends, thank you very much for joining us. Remember to stay safe, stay healthy. If you have to go out, please wear that mask, because we still need them. Even with the vaccinations, in some cases, you still need it because you don't know who doesn't need it and isn't wearing it. But anyway, be good to yourself and be good to each other. And we'll see you next Wednesday. Good night, everybody.